Hello everybody, I am Perfect the Penguin, and I am back with a Scratch tutorial. So, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be making a shopping interface where you can actually buy from the shop, and it's going to be fun, so I'm going to go ahead and start. So let's go ahead and head down to variables. Let's just go ahead and delete the my variable. And let's make a new one. So let's go ahead and we want money, right? So like whenever you buy from a shop, you want money, or you have to give money to the cashier. So let's think of a type of money. So like we could do crazy cash. So that's what I'm gonna name it, and that's gonna be the money that is traded in this shop. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit crazy cash, okay? So let's go ahead and just keep the check mark where it's like that, okay? Now let's make another variable. This is going to be shopping, and this is going to be able to tell the game if we are in the shop to open the shop menu. And those are the only two variables we need right now. So let's go ahead and go into lists, and let's go ahead and put items for sale, okay? I hit OK. I'm just going to go ahead and close that because we don't need that right now. And now I'm also going to do prices. And I'm just going to go ahead and close that for now, but we could open it in a bit. So now that we have our variables and list, let's go ahead and start. So let's go ahead and get a when flags clicked. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go back down to here. Let's go ahead and make the shop. So what we want to do is we want to have it where it deletes all of the items for sale and all of the prices. And then we want to add it afterwards, because if we weren't to include this, let's say I just had this here, well, every time I hit the green flag, it wouldn't delete. And look, we have 4 things right now in our shop, even though it only adds 1. So that's why we don't want it to delete. So look now. Now it only has 1 and it will stay 1. But if we weren't to have the delete all, it would be 2. And we don't want that. So let's go ahead and put that back here. And I'm going to go ahead and hide the list. So now, what are we going to be selling? So let's just say we want to sell, what should we sell? Let's just sell a balloon. Because who wouldn't want a balloon? Okay, and then let's also sell a flag. Okay. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally made a list flag. We don't want a new list. We just want to add an item to the list, items for sale. So let's go ahead and add flag here. And now let's go ahead and add one last thing. Let's go ahead and make that a jar. I don't know why, but we're going to make it a jar. And now we're going to want to go ahead and add the prices for each item. So now you might be wondering, well, how will the game know what the prices are for each item if we put the prices in a completely different list? Well, I'm going to show you how that happens. So let's go ahead and just write down the prices 10, the prices 20, and the prices 5. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hit the green flag, and now we have items for sale and prices. So see how this lines up? Item 1, balloon, price 1, 10. Item 2, flag, or price 2, 20. So that's how it's going to line up. So the first item in items for sale will have the price of the first item in prices. So let's go ahead and do the jar. Because the item jar is 3 and the price 5 in prices is 3, the jar will be 5. So that's how we're going to do it. So since we want the balloon, let's say we actually want the balloon to be 20 and the flag to be 10. Well, what we have to do is we'd have to switch the 20 and the 10. So the 20 would be here, and then the 10 would be below it. So let's go ahead and hit the green flag and see how that changes. See, now the balloon is 20 because they are both 1. The price 20 is item 1, and the balloon is also item 1 in their lists. And now the flag is 2, and the price 10 is also 2. So that's how it's going to happen. But I'm just going to go ahead and revert the prices to what I had them. So the balloon will be 10, and the flag will be 20, and now we can see the changes go back to normal when I hit that. So I'm going to go ahead and close the list. So after that explanation, I'm going to go ahead and make the sprites, because what we want is, I'm actually going to name this items, we want to have clones for each thing. Like, we don't want to have it where we hit enter and it's like, what item do you want to buy? No, that's not what we're going to be doing here. So I'm not going to actually delete the cat sprite. I'm just going to work off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the cat sprites. But now I'm actually going to be making the sprite that I want. So nothing too fancy. I'm just going to go ahead and make the shop. Let's have the shop color be green. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make a square here. Hit shift so it's even. And that's a little too big. I'm going to make it 53. There we go. We have it at 53. I'm just going to make the outline 6. So there we go. That's how we have it. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw my balloon. And I am back. Okay guys, so I finished drawing every item, and here's something that's very important. Whatever order your items are, that is the order their costumes must be. So since balloon is the first item, balloon must be the first costume. And what else you want to do is you want to make sure you add another variable. Make it item number, and make this for this sprite only. And there's a reason to that. You'll see why. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue now. And let's go ahead and make one green flag clicked. We want that, but we're not going to use it now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into forever. We got a forever. And now if we want this if key space press, but you can change it to whatever you want. Actually grab another one, grab 2. I'm actually going to make it when S is pressed because S starts with shop starts with S. So now we have that where when key S is pressed, now we want to go to the if and the else statement. If shopping equals 0. And here's what's going to be, or actually, yeah. If shopping equals 0, then that means the shop is going to be closed. But if shopping equals yes, that means it's going to be open. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that right here, shopping. If it is 0, it equals no, but if it is 1, it is yes. So that's how, so if it's 0, you're not shopping. If it's 1, you are. So if you are not shopping 0, you're going to want to set shopping to 1. That means you'd be in the shop if you weren't. Else, and this is going to be if you are in the shop, you're going to set shopping to 0. This is so you can close out of the shop. So now, here's the thing though. If you look, I'm pressing S, but look at the variable shopping. It's going crazy between 1 and 0. So what we want to do is, this is where this key S pressed comes in handy. We want to put wait until outside of this if, the if else, the if key S pressed. We want to keep it outside that, and we want to hit wait until not, so get yourself a not operate in the operation centers, and then we want to put not key S press. So this means now, are you ready? Now I'm holding down S and it's not doing anything. When you hold down S, it won't constantly turn back and forth, but only when you let go and tap. So that's what we want. And now, see how it says shopping equals 0? Well, we don't want it to be where when we join, or when you hit the green flag, it's not randomly in the shop or not. So we want to go ahead and set shopping to 0, or you can set it to 1, but I'm going to set it to 0. That way the shop is off. We want to put that in front of the forever loop. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on top of all the list blocks. So now let's come over here to this when green flag clicked, and I'm going to go ahead and hit hide. This way we don't see the actual sprite itself, but we will be able to see its clones. So I'm going to hit hide, and now let's go ahead and get another forever loop. And now we're going to want to put, and not an if else, but a plain old if. If shopping equals 1, so let's go ahead and get an equal sign and a 1. If shopping equals 1, now put the shopping there. So if shopping equals 1, what do we want to do? Well, this is where item number comes in handy, and as you can see, it is this sprite only. And if you didn't make it a this sprite only, you will want to delete it and make it again, because it is important that it is a this sprite only. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off where we don't see it. And now let's go ahead and hit set item number to 0, but then we're going to want to change the item number by 1. So now let's go ahead and let's set the coordinates. Where do we want the shop to start? Let's say we want it at negative 180 for our x, and then the y would be 90. So then I'm just going to show you where that's at. That's here. So I like it there. That's pretty cool. So there, we're going to have it there, and now we're going to have create clone of myself. That way it creates the clone. Then we're going to want to repeat, so get those 3 blocks again, change item number by 1, go to XY, and then create clone of myself. Now we're going to want to change the X. I recommend changing it by 80, but depending on the size of your items, you might want to change it by something bigger or smaller. So now that I have that, let's go ahead and see where is that? Where is negative 190? It's right there. Okay, that's pretty good. So now it is time. We're gonna make one last one, and now this is for the jar. And now this is why it's important where you number your costumes, because it's going to come in handy, because the costume you use, well, that's what's going to be put in your inventory. So I'll explain that later. It's going to come up real soon after we finish this right here. So now, since we copied those one last time, we're going to want to change the X to negative 2090. And that would be right here. As you can see, my balloon moved. Now I'm going to create, and then now what we want to do is we want to hit wait until shopping equals 0. And that way it doesn't keep recreating and recreating and recreating the same clone over and over on top of each other. So that's why we want to put wait until shopping equals 0. So get an equal, and then get your variable shopping, and then put in 0 on the end. So now we're going to wait until shopping equals 0. Now it's time for a completely different block. what we're going to want is it's actually in control, not events, when I start as a clone. I'm just going to put that right under this block right here where we talk about where it creates the clone. So now when I start as a clone, this is very important. We want to put show. This way we can actually see the clone because up here we're hiding. Okay, so let's go ahead and put switch costume to jar right above here, or whatever your item is. But we don't want all the clones to be jar, do we? So this is where we want to come into item number, switch costume to item number. So this is why it was important we numbered our sprite, or our costumes, because now item number 1, balloon, will look like the balloon. If we were to have these out of order, the item balloon would look like a flag, for example. So now we want to get a repeat until block. So I've got that. And then at the end of that, we want to put a delete this clone, not inside of it, at the end. So now in this little hexagon right here in the repeat until block, what we want to put is an equals, and we want to do repeat until shopping equals 0. So let's go ahead and hit shopping right here. Now let's go ahead and put an if in there. An if, not an if else. If, now what we want to do is touching mouse pointer and mouse down. So let's go ahead and go into operators and get our and, not an or, an and then we want to get touching mouse pointer and mouse down. This, or you don't have to do mouse down, but that way, if you don't accidentally put your mouse in front of it, it doesn't bite. You have to actually click. So touching mouse pointer and mouse down. Now what we want to do is this is where we are going to have the costume name be added into the inventory. So let's go ahead and hit add costume name, not number. Make sure you change that to costume name into, oh, we need to make a new variable, and that is going to be the inventory variable. So now that we have the inventory variable, I'm just going to go ahead and put this over here. Now that we have the inventory variable, we can make it where it puts in to the inventory that the costume name. So if we click on the balloon, it would put a balloon into our inventory. So now let's go ahead, and this is where we're going to use our crazy cash. So now let's go ahead and go back up here to the start right here and put set crazy cash to, I don't know, however much you want to have it worth. Let's just go ahead and put it at 45. That means we have 45 crazy cash. So now I'm just going to put that right there. And we need crazy cash to reset each time we hit the game. So now, or the green flag, and start the game, sorry. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have change crazy cash. And now what we want to do is we want to have item number of prices. And now that might sound confusing, but it's really not. We want the variable here, and then go down into lists. And right here where it says item 1 of inventory, we want to take this out, put item number of prices. And now what this means is that it's like, okay, for which item we're on, so number 2, let's say we're on the flag. Well, the item number 2 of flag is 20, so it's going to change it by 20. So now, what if we put this here? Well, that's going to increase. That's going to increase our crazy cash, and well, we're not going to buy something and also get the money for it. We're going to lose the money. So what we want to do is we want to come to here and get a multiply block. And now we want to put our item number of prices and times that by -1, because that'll make it a negative number, which will actually minus or subtract our crazy cash. So there we go. We have deleted, or we will delete some crazy cash now. So now we want to add a little bit more, and then we will be done. So let's go ahead and go back into control. We want to have an if, and we want to surround it around everything we have put in the if touching mouse pointer and mouse down. And now what we want to put in there is, and it's going to be a long one, if not item number of prices is greater than crazy cash, then we can do all this. And now, why do we want this? Well, this is saying that if the price is over how much cash we have, we can't buy it. Because if we didn't have that, let's say we had 3, we can't actually get that, but let's say we had 3 crazy cash and we tried to buy a balloon. Well, if we tried to buy a balloon and that line, not item number of prices is greater than Cobalt coins, if that was not there, it would buy it and we'd have -7 crazy cash. And that's not really what we want to be happening here. Let's go ahead and put in not. Now let's just go ahead and duplicate item number of prices, but we do want this greater sign. Just put that there. So if not item number of prices greater than crazy cash. So go ahead and put that there. And now you might think that's it, but it's really not, because if we do this and then hit S to open the shop, well, if you think about it, look, it just bought 4 and I only clicked down once. So what we want to do is we want to do what we did before and make a wait until not this happening. So we want to go ahead and put wait until right under the change crazy cash. And now we want to do wait until not touching mouse pointer and not mouse down. So I just went ahead and copied that. But now we want to get the not from here, put it in there, and not this. That way, see this? I can do that. There we go. Now here, you might notice that every time I hit the green flag, inventory is not resetting. So let's just go ahead and see where it says delete all of items for sale and all of prices. Right above that, I'm going to go ahead and put delete all of inventory. And there you have it. That is it. That's how to make a shopping interface. I might make some more I might add some more. I'm not, I might add more items, might make more to the shop. Like, you could have much more items. I don't know. I probably will. So I'll see you in the next one. I'm Perfectly Penguin. Thank you for watching this Scratch tutorial. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.